Hello, my name is Edith Johnson.
And I'm John Moxie.
And this is the South Bristol Scoop. Some news from the rest of the world. The inauguration of the 47th President of the United States happened this Monday the 20th. President Trump gave a 30-minute speech, followed by lots of other speakers and musicians. Trump will be our president for the next 4 years. Now for some local sports with John.
So for girls basketball, there are 5 South Bristol girls who play on the Bristol/South Bristol team. The team beat Richmond 34-10 last Wednesday. And for boys basketball, there's 1 South Bristol boy who plays on the Bristol/South Bristol team. The team beat Richmond 58-36 last Wednesday. In their second game, GSB won with 42-26 over Bristol/South Bristol. And now for some Lincoln Academy sports with Edith.
Boys varsity basketball. LA versus Oceanside. LA won 76-51. They also beat Mount View 55-34. The boys are on a roll. They have 10-3 and ranked 4th in Class B. Menominee Valley High School is undefeated and ranked number 1. The varsity girls basketball team. Oceanside versus LA. Oceanside beat Lincoln Academy 45-37. The girls are now 7-6 and are 7th in Class B. Track and field. Lincoln Academy came in second for the most recent meet. They scored 85 points in the 8-team meet. They were beaten by Coney High School. David Winchenbach won the high jump at 5 feet and 4 inches. He also won the long jump at 19 feet and 1 inch. The boys won the 4x200 meter relay and set a new school record. Owen Card won the 2-mile race. Jordan Anderson won the 55-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. He beat his personal record, now at 6.87 seconds. Girls running. The girls came in 6th for their 8-team meet. Mercy Buckwalder came in 2nd for the 55-meter dash and 3rd in the 200-meter dash. Now for some New England sports.
Before we move on to New England sports, we'd like to thank the sponsors of our program. Many thanks to the First and to the Locker Room. We couldn't do this without you. And now for some New England sports. This week, the Boston Bruins lost 6-5 in a shootout to the Ottawa Senators. Then they beat the San Jose Sharks 6-3. The New England Patriots are enjoying their off-season. The Boston Celtics. The past week, the Celtics won 2 games and lost 2 games. The Celtics lost to the Toronto Raptors 110-97, and they beat the Orlando Magic 121-94. They lost the Atlanta Hawks 119-115, and they crushed the Golden State Warriors 125-85. The Celtics remain the number 2 seed in the East.
Now John had a talk with Mr. Begonia.
Hello, my name is John Moxie, and I'm here with Mr. B here. I've heard you've been doing a lobster buoy project for the last 2 years. Tell us what you've been up to.
Yeah, so the 6th and 7th graders at South Bristol School for the last 2 years have been working on a buoy project, and we've been gone down to the co-op and interviewed lobstermen, and the goal of the project is to make a 3-inch miniature buoy painted exactly like theirs are painted, and to put them on a 3-foot by 4-foot display that can be held at the South Bristol Historical Society Museum. We're also finding out their lobster boat names, what years they fished, any sort of biographical information that they want to share with us. But ultimately, we'd love to have a great display to share with the town of South Bristol lobstermen that are alive now on one display, and then maybe all the way back to 1915 on the second display.
Very interesting. And what's next for the project?
Well, we're in our third year right now. The new lobstermen roll in all the time. We have a bunch of data from the state. We have 1,500 lines of spreadsheet with all their permits and everything. So we're using that, and we're just trying to basically this year get all the living lobstermen, making sure that we have all their buoys all painted, and hopefully making a display by the end of the school year.
And do you have a projected completion date?
Well, for the first display, we're hoping for the end of this school year, so June of this year. And going back to 1915 is going to be more challenging because it's harder to find the data, and finding people who might have known those lobstermen, grandfathers, great-grandfathers. So maybe by the end of the next school year, so in June of 2026.
Okay. And now Edith, who's visiting with Miss Stiles.
Hello, I'm here today with our principal, Miss Stiles, for an interview. So let's get started. Question number 1. How do you like being the principal?
I like the challenge of being the principal. It's a different job than I've had before, but I really enjoy it. I enjoy being able to play with kids from 4 to 14, so that's fun.
What are some of the challenges that you have?
I no longer have a summer, and that's a challenge, but it's okay. The facilities, learning about a building and learning about the budget, I think those are the biggest challenges, and maybe a couple too many meetings, so I can't get in the classroom as much.
How does the job you have right now different from the job you had as a math teacher?
It's very different because I spend much of my time with adults instead of closing my door and in my classroom with my students. But, like I said, I get to play with kids from 4 to 14 and also be with the teachers who teach multiple grades instead of just 5th through 8th.
Do you like your job now better?
I wouldn't say better. I would say they're very different and challenging in different ways. You answered a question the other day for Jonathan from the Lincoln County News, and you said what you liked about the biolab was that it was so challenging and you had to work hard. That's what I liked about this.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the biolab from last week? Sure.
The biolab came to us. It was an enormous trailer, wasn't it? Full of really cool, expensive equipment. Mr. B applied for the biolab twice, and this year our school was accepted. We invited Bristol over, and that was great. Their kids got to experience it too. And our kids from 3rd grade to 8th grade got to use really nice, expensive equipment that they respected, and the scientists adored our students from both schools.
Thank you, Ms. Stiles, for joining us today, and thanks for watching the South Bristol Scoop. Back to you, John.
And now, down at the wharf with Edith.
Down at the wharf, some lobster prices. The lobster prices went up by $1 in the past 2 weeks at Ozier's Wharf. At the South Bristol Fishermen's Co-op, lots of prices went from $1 to $2 in the last week. The reason for the increases is that fewer lobstermen are fishing and supplies are low. Now, here's your 3-day weather forecast with John.
Today it will have a high of 29 degrees and a low of 14 degrees. On Friday it will have a high of 27 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. On Saturday it will have a high of 28 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. And now for your tide forecast. Pay close attention to low tides if you want to get out there on the clam flats. And here's the tide forecast for Thursday. It will be high tide at 5:39 a.m. and 6:23 p.m. It will be low tide at 12:12 p.m. Friday's tides, it will be high tide at 6:34 a.m. and 7:24 p.m. It will be low tide at 12:13 a.m. and 1:13 p.m. And Saturday's tides, it will be high tide at 7:30 a.m. and 8:18 p.m. It will be low tide at 1:11 a.m. and 2:08 p.m. We're glad you joined us this week for the latest on local, county, and national news.
Thanks for watching the South Bristol Scoop. Now, what do I say again? Hello, I'm Edith Jonathan.
And I'm... Oh my god. So, for down at the... Oh my god, what?
Stop. Interview. Here's your 3-day weather forecast with John.
Oh.
Do we not prepare for this? Is this the outro, intro?
This is just a little fun stuff we're going to put in there.
Wait, what do we
All
say?
right.
What do we say?
We're reporters for the South Bristol School.
Oh, yeah. All right. We're glad you joined us this week to get the latest on the local, county, and national news. Thanks for watching the South Bristol Scoop. Hi, we are South Bristol reporters. Reporting for the South Bristol Scoop. Welcome to the South Bristol Scoop.
Let's do it again. One more time.
So bad.
Fun stuff.
What are you doing?